Hello, friends. I love it. I am now live. Yay. This is so funny. So I am so excited. Elizabeth, Jay, Judy, Lisa, Keisha, oh my God, Kristen, C, Kelly. It's all great. I'm so loving this. Saroja, all of you, thank you so much for joining. So I want to show you how I start this stuff, right? I want to show you that I take, I'm gonna cry. This gets me so much, right? I have all your questions in here, or a lot of them. I'll tell you about that. And before I start, I put my hands on either side, send them Reiki, and I send you Reiki. How cool is that? And then what I do is I ask to be connected to the highest source of divine light and truth. And I ask that any and all information that come through me be for your highest and best good. And I ask the angels of light to surround and heal you as this work comes through you and as you do it in your life. And I thank the universe in advance for a perfect time together. And so it is. And so it is. It's kind of a little bit how I would do meditation sessions and speaking gigs and channeling and healing sessions and reads and all that stuff. So, yeah. Thanks, Daniela. Yeah, they are pretty flowers, aren't they? So listen, I want to tell you, I've just really loved getting your questions in. I don't know if I can handle this hair. I've loved getting your questions in. So I might be able to get to yours today, right? But there's so many that came in, and there's been a lot coming in over the months. So if I don't get to yours, I will get to yours. And also, too, I want you to know that some of them are so good, they should be long-form videos. So if you don't hear your answer, it might be because it's going to be a long-form video or a short. I'll turn it into a short reel. Or it might end up in one of my books. I'm working on a chakra book now for you. It's totally for you. It's seminal. It's a really great book in regards to all the work that I do. And listen, you might have read chakra books, but you haven't had my chakra book. So I can't wait to get that in your hot little hands. So let us begin, right? So I want to remind you, too, that maybe some of the questions you might have, because I really want to just do content questions, some of the ones that you have might already have been answered in earlier videos, right? In earlier videos. So make sure you check the playlist. And the reason I'm doing this is to give everything I know to you. And so it's a masterclass in psychic spiritual development and interconnectedness, because we're body and soul. And if you only live through your physical senses, you are missing half your life. And so my work is to empower you to live fully alive and work in the magic that is there for every one of us. So I'm really excited about that. So really what I offer is a master class. You know, it's free. Hello. Isn't that nice? That's nice. I think that's nice. A lot of good karma points for all of us, right? Because you're gonna take the lessons, you're gonna apply them in your life, you're gonna learn, and then you're gonna just reverberate this higher level of frequency, bringing the world into this higher conscious space that we're all longing for. Wahoo, wahoo. So, thank you, Kelly. I can't wait for the chakra book either. So we're on the lookout for an agent already. I'm really excited. So, you just definitely, if you have a question, but you haven't gone through all the material, maybe go to the playlist to see if there's a video within a playlist that might address your question, or even use the search engine on my channel and do simple terms. Simple is better than a lot of words. Like look up ego or child or meditation or, psychic development, but it's all psychic development. And I just want to remind you, it's official. You're awesome. You're just awesome, and I love you. So let's get in on the questions, right? Okay, the first one is from Patricia. Patricia asks, she wants to know, do you have to talk to your angels out loud? I'm not reading the question word for word, Patricia, so I hope you know it's you. Do you have to talk to your angels out loud? This is what I've heard. I've heard that they cannot take action if you don't ask out loud. I don't mean to laugh. No, you don't have to ask out loud. I only talk to them in my mind. I only talk to them clairaudiently in my mind. That's it, in my mind. So no, you can talk to them in your mind. And I work and manifest with the angels all the time, and they assist me all the time. Really? The only time that I talk out loud is when I'm bawling. And I'm like, I can't believe how much you helped me. I can't believe you did that. How'd you do that miraculous miracle? It's like, Constance, that's, that vibration. So usually I talk to them out loud in, oh my God, I can't believe you moments, or to family members or friends or my husband. And I'm just like, oh my God, you would not believe what the angels did. And then I'm like, you did this. I know you did this. And then I'm talking to them like that. But no, your heart and your head have to be in alignment. Oh, speaking of which, oh my gosh, if you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, you should, because in March, I am releasing a whole PDF file, pretty cool one, on manifesting. It's a lot of my trade secrets to manifesting, not all of them, because I think I'm going to write a Messmer on manifesting book. So make sure you sign up for that. But in there, it also mentions that angels work only when your heart and your head are in alignment. So you got to really get clear on what you want. And so when you're asking them to assist you in life, no, you don't have to say it out loud. They're mind readers, right? That's how they speak. Their spirit, their communication on that level. So no, I don't agree with that, Patricia. So I hope that answers your question. See what works for you, right? That's the biggest thing, is what works for you. See, play with it. Do some things out loud, and then do some things from your heart and see how that goes. So drink agua. Okay, this question came in, and the person used a fake name, like they didn't have a real name. And they're asking, why do you use B-roll pictures, those images that you see on the YouTube videos? I think that more people would listen if it was just you talking to the camera, like I am now, right? This is me. So here's the deal. Whoever wrote that and all of you that are curious about that, I recorded those videos that you're watching a year ago. Yeah, they are. I started this whole podcast on Spotify about 2 years ago. I don't even remember. Was it 22? I think. I don't remember off the top of my head. And so when it came to putting them to YouTube, instead of you just seeing a smiling picture of Constance acting like a ventriloquist, not moving, so you could either see this and me talking, or an AI version of me using my lips as every word comes out. Or you can see those gorgeous images that show inclusivity and diversity that my incredible team puts together to help you see you doing the work, because it's not just me, it's all of us. So those will be up for quite a while. The early videos, they're like the early videos, but in after a stretch, I think there's like 120 of them, right? 120 or 130 episodes. After that time, then you'll see me. And won't you miss those other things, because you're going to be like, oh my God, it's so funny. So that's the answer to your question. All right. But thanks for the question, because I wondered if people wondered. But yeah, after that, then it'll just be me. So in came a few questions on shared sensory experiences. And it was off the one when I was looking, I made an energetic link to my son, and I looked through his eyes. And the question was, what does that mean? And can you teach us how to do this first step of creating an energetic link? This person hadn't watched all the videos yet, and please point me in the right direction if it's there. And I don't remember if it's there. It might be, I don't remember if it's there in the other ones, because a lot of my stuff just like is channeled. Like I hear it as a medium, or I just start talking because they're talking through me, channeling. So really when I do this and do a shared sensory experience as a way of connection, a conscious connection, right, is actually, what would be really interesting is if you can just imagine yourself as them, looking through their eyes. Like, what are they seeing? I am going to definitely make shorts on this. I need to do one on remote viewing, because it's similar to remote viewing, but it's not remote viewing. It's not clairvoyance. It is shared sensory experience. So probably the best way is for me to make a video. But really, it's as with all my work, as with all the work that you can do, it's intention And it loops in, this specifically loops in the principle of oneness, because we're all one, right? We're all one. And so the next question folds into that, is I'm curious if this is an invasion of privacy in any way. And I said, some people slip into it, like they naturally do this that's what they do. They can't help themselves, because they're so connected that way and functioning from life that way. They just go, I wonder what that experience is like for them, or I wonder, how they're doing, and all of a sudden they're in their world. And I think that it would only be an invasion of privacy if that is your goal, right? I do it often when I use it for reads, so people know I'm doing it. And if I'm doing it for people like my kids or whomever, I'll ask their soul on a higher conscious level, can I see through your eyes? Can I see what you're doing? And you'll easily get a yes or a no, right? And then you're familiar with that landscape of discernment, of processing whether or not it's okay. Do you do. So if you have questions coming in, please send them in. Send them in through the newsletter, right? Send them in by hitting reply to the newsletter, and then I can get to it. I hope that answered your question. Is it invasion of privacy in any way? I think it is if you're doing it, is it nefariously? Is that the word? I always follow ethics. I think the next book, or 2 books from now, I'm going to write is going to have a section on ethics and principles, because that's important. Love all the hearts, right back at you. I wonder does it pop up on the screen? No. I don't know how this all works. So the next question is, I've accidentally done this. Shared sensory experience. I've experienced it as if I was that person rather than just seeing through their eyes. Do you think it's possible for another person to call you in? Yes, I actually do. How's that? I do. If that's a yes or no question, my answer is yes. A lot of times, when you do that thing of like, call me, call me, call me, sometimes people are doing the pulling you in, and you're seeing what they're up to without them actually knowing it. Sometimes they do it as a call for help, or you're so linked to them, it becomes a call for help, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to check in on, so-and-so, because I just saw something, like I just saw them, crash or whatever, or they're struggling. I see them struggling, but I am them, and I am in this place of struggle. In my book, Some Dogs Talk, let's see. Oh, wait, where is it here? It doesn't show up. In my book, Some Dogs Talk, Tony, the protagonist, has a shared sensory experience with the dog across the alley. And so it gets into that if you want to know more. Yeah, I hope that answers the questions. I'm going to put that in one of the future books. I'll go more into that. Okay. And they didn't leave their name. They all had not real names. I'd love to know the name. Just your first name, and where you're from. So Doreen asks something, but she doesn't say where she's from. Thank you, Constance, for your lessons and for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for saying that. I have a question about discerning beings of love and light. Your advice has been somewhat challenging for me because I haven't yet developed my gifts of sight or hearing. Oh, remember when I say, are you of light? Are you of truth? And then you throw light. That's what they're referring to. I wonder if this is due to a blockage. Yeah, there's a lot. It could be. Wait for the chakra book. Don't wait for it. But go back through the chakra lessons that we're going through now and find one that seems to jump out for you in regards to blocks for psychic development. Or perhaps an agreement with my guides to delay opening these abilities. You can rewrite that. You can say, you know what? Why is this happening? Why is this not happening? But you have issue with audience, so don't do that. But listen, currently I rely on my pendulum and intuition. So I'm thinking you're using the word intuition as in claircognizance, where it's a direct knowing. I hope that's what you're meaning. Unless you're also thinking clairsentience, which means you feel it, or clairsentiment, which means you emotionally are registering it. Anyway, I use pendulum and intuition to communicate with my guardian angels. When you suggest throwing a ball of light or directly asking whether a being is of truth and of light, I find it difficult since I cannot see or hear the response directly. How can I reliably determine the true nature of any beings I encounter when trying to communicate through my current tools? Well, if I'm hearing you right, then I don't really work with pendulums. So other than just checking energy on chakras. So that's not my arena. But intuition, if you're using that as claircognizance, like a knowing, then you're going to know. You're going to know that whoever the being is of light and love. But also, too, I also question discerning beings of light and love. You're going to set the intention. You're going to be like, I only want to be connected with the highest being that's aligned with my truth, that is aligned with light and love, that can come forward and connect with me now. And you are going to practice. You are going to sit in your meditation practice, and you are going to develop strength training, right? Look at the muscle. I'm impressed with myself. Oh, shut up. So yeah, you're going to sit in your connection time. You're going to ask to be open to seeing and hearing more clearly and easily, right? And also use your, how do they feel energetically? I started the video series on the clairs with that, the 11 soul senses with clair sensation, because it is foundational in the work when connecting with people, with spirit, with places, with things. You're going to want to feel, how does it feel to you? Like, does it give you an elated feeling? Are you uplifted? Does it feel cold? Does it feel like a disconnect? So the emotion or the energy of the presence of a being of light and love is going to register as really good and yummy, right? So that's what I would use, are these other areas, and your heart will feel expansive and you're just going to feel weepy. But the biggest thing is intention. Surround yourself with light. I ask to be surrounded with light so that my intention is pure and clear, and asked to be connected. And so those are the things that you can do if you're not seeing or hearing. And then if you are getting true intuition, which is claircognizance, then you're going to know. So that's knowing. That's not hearing, seeing, feeling. That's knowing, direct knowing. So you can open up yourself to say, open up your experience to say, are you of goodness? And you're just going to know that. But I think that maybe we're not on the same page of how I use intuition, so I'm not sure. So let me take a drink. Elizabeth, it was great. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks. You guys are fabulous. The other day I was going through the grocery store out loud chanting because everybody was so like feeling heavy from everything that's going on in the world. So I was chanting, Namaste, yay. Anyway, yeah, it's great. I love to chant. Okay, so this one question came in on a ClairOlfaction video. I have been able to see and occasionally smell smoke since my spiritual awakening 4 years ago. I have also been experiencing vertigo along with several third eye blockage symptoms. What are your thoughts? Well, first of all, I'd check if it's a physical thing, the vertigo, because sometimes it can be. But if that's been ruled out and you really feel that it's spiritual, and I actually feel that yours is spiritual, but I didn't want to tell you that, but sometimes there's vertigo stuff like mold in the house or the space can bring vertigo, or the car. Third eye blockage symptoms. I would like you to ask me specifically by saying what those symptoms are, instead of me having to go psychic to get that information for you or from you. I don't want to do that. So I'll just say this. Vertigo can also come from scattered energy. So the practice of collecting your energy, or noticing when you're out of body or your thoughts are elsewhere, or you're in 20 million places at once, welcome to my world, and that you have to reel it in. It's about being an energy master and energy awareness. So vertigo can also happen because your head is not just with you, it's everywhere, right? So it would be about, is this what's happening? Is the vertigo from being energetically discombobulated and all over the place? Is the vertigo because the spirit is around me? Who wants to speak to me? Who's here? These kind of things are going to be beneficial. And then the other thing that I would suggest is if you wanted to specifically look at a chakra, the chakra for the third eye is the brow chakra in my work. I call it the brow chakra. And so you might, I think it's out, that video. So look to that video. Maybe that has answers to your questions. Otherwise, wait for the chakra book. That'll be cool. Sorry. So again, I just want you to remember that you can send in your question if you're watching and this is your first time watching. I do these answers Q&A once a month on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And the way you can submit your question is to sign up for my newsletter at constancemessmer.com and then hit reply. And please leave your first name at least and where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from. I'm from Martha's Vineyard. Where are you from? So that would be great. And then I'll do my best to get to it in a timely fashion. But like I said, I'm getting swamped, but we'll get through them. So thanks for that. So what do I got here? Okay, this one is interesting. I was like, should I do this or should I do videos on this? I have a few questions that came in on mediumship and channeling. And so it's tricky because this came in from John, and John asks this: would you say that the ability to channel is a potential that all people have? And that this, yes, I do. But I think that we could have the ability, but I need to define channel. Okay. Too many people use the word channel when they might mean medium, and I split hairs. You know that about me. So to me, I'll break it down. I think I have shorts on this. There's something called inner psychic rapport. Inner psychic rapport is when we just have telepathic communication with another, like whether it's your animal or your loved one on the other side, and you're just getting the information for you, that you're engaging in telepathic communication, or what I refer to as inner psychic rapport, right? Mediumship is when you're going to hear or get messages through all the 11 soul senses, and you're going to deliver those messages to someone else, so a third party or a group of people, right? So that's mediumship. You're acting as a medium. To me, when you work as a channel, you are actually opening yourself up to allow spirit in some form to come and speak through you, engage your actions, to be like them. It's really a full-on experience of letting them cohabitate in your body to deliver the message exactly like they want to deliver it. So I've done all of those, and maybe that's what you're referring to, John. I don't know if you're referring to channel or medium, unless I go psychic on you. I think you're using channel as in mediumship, but maybe you're doing it as channel. It's very wonky. Maybe, this is why. I'm like, spirit, help me out here, because I'm like, and they're like, because you're supposed to answer for both. Goodness gracious. So would I say the ability for mediumship is a potential that all people have and will naturally begin to manifest as one reaches a certain point in their spiritual development? Yes. And I agree. And with channeling, where you let spirit inhabit your body, that's a choice, right? So you can develop it if you want to work with it, but you better get through, in my opinion, look at me, bossy cow, get through mediumship first so you know what you're doing, right? And really be savvy on that, because you don't want to just share your space with anybody. We've all been there, right? In relationship in the physical, or maybe you haven't. Good for you. So, all right. So what else? That is to say, as you raise your vibrational frequency through meditation and other energy practices, will the ability to channel spirit naturally develop? Look, I got a thumbs up on Facebook. Will the ability to channel spirit naturally develop? If that's your goal, yeah. If that's your intention, I believe so. Why do I believe so? Because we are one. And so I believe that also, if that's your intention, but you can also ask, is it for my highest good to do? Right? It sounds like that's your intention, John. Okay, John has a follow-up question. Could you offer 2 to 3 tips on how to improve the ability to channel? Well, definitely sit with a daily practice of sitting with spirit. Really be savvy on discernment of truth and connecting. And I would encourage you to journal your Journal, one of my books, right? My journals, my blank journals. Journal your experiences so you can see how you're doing. And if it's mediumship that you're working on, then you're going to be working with spirit guides in a situation where you're having telepathic connection or inner psychic rapport with the spirit to help develop then this, if this is what you're come to do, and I have a feeling you have, John. So you're going to be going through a lot of lessons, right? So that you can be accurate and clear and really good with what you're doing, because you want to have integrity in your work. Otherwise, you'll find that spirit won't communicate with you if you deliver the wrong messages. Plus, there's beings that you don't want to connect with or, hang out with. I am also going to write a book, Messmer and Mediumship. It's just that I have so much content up here. There's no way I could do all these videos and answer it. There's no short answer. But these are the basics, John. Sit in a daily spiritual practice, journal the connections to see how it goes, and definitely become an energy master. And you have to sort through your stuff, right? Your shit, so that you're a clean vessel. And that's going to be important. It'll be great when you get the Chakra book if you do, because it's going to help you do just that, getting rid of stuff to help you be a clear and perfect channel for the information that you feel that you're meant to bring forward. Great question. Thank you. I think it overlaps both channeling or being a medium where you're delivering messages for others. The next question that I have is also, it's on mediumship. How do I separate or distinguish between the person standing in front of me's energy to that of a deceased loved one? I would say 90% of the time, I pick up a deceased loved one of theirs, and 10% of the time, I'm unknowingly reading the person in front of me's energy. So this seems to come from someone, they didn't leave a name. I'm going to assume the way it's written that they do the work, they do reads, or they do mediumship, and they sometimes get it wonky, or they do it whether as a business or just as a fun thing to do, because it is beautiful. It's beautiful. Fun, I mean fun, by fun I mean beautiful. Like before I was doing the work, I was seeing people's loved ones, I do that. I would see people's loved ones around them, and I'd say, listen, can I tell you something? I'm very familiar with getting messages from spirit. Are you okay with that? And can I tell you, I see your husband on the other side standing next to you. And are you open to receiving information? Definitely. You can also ask their soul on the inside, but then you can ask them physically. If you get a yes from their soul on the inside, then ask them on the outside. So this person, how would you do that? You have to become a really great energy master so that you are focusing your energy on the person here and then the person in spirit, on the person here and then the person in spirit. This is going to take some practice, but I believe in you, no name person, because it becomes really setting it as an intention when you do these connection moments, and because you're going to refine your work, right? You're refining where you're getting the information from. And so sometimes too, I'm going to encourage you to go slow so that when information comes in, you might even double check it to say, is this about the person on the other side? Or is this about the person live sitting in front of me? Listen, yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that. I am writing a book on that. I am going to, because there's too much in my brain. All right, here's another one. I need a drink of water. And while you wait for my book on the chakras, I have a playlist, right, that has the chakras happening. So there's lectures and stories and stuff in each of on the playlist about the various chakras that I teach. So this will be really good. And then there's more in the book. So, but definitely go in there. Thanks for the reminder, Kristen. What would I do without you? Okay, so Julie asks, I'm quite nervous and have been plucking up the courage to tell someone about the messages that I'm getting from their deceased father. What do I do? Sometimes they're not interested, but I'm really wanting to do this. So that's a short one of Julie. So Julie, I hope you're listening, and I hope you understand this is for you. There was a lot more to the backstory. So what I would do is, if you're wondering whether or not, and you're not working as a medium, and you're wondering whether or not, am I meant to give this message? Because I see it, I hear them, they're right there, I'm looking, there they are. What should I do? First of all, you can go high and ask, is it for my highest good that I deliver this message? And then if you get a yes, you can proceed gently. Listen, I just keep getting this message. Can I, give it to you? You can do whatever you want with it, whatever. But I'm keep getting it, and I'm also trying to work on my skills, right? There's that. I've had people, loved ones on the other side, come to me saying, please call my mom, please call my mom, please, get in touch with my dad, call my brother who's alive. All these people are alive. Can you call them who's alive? Because I want to talk to them and they should come to you. I'm like, no. So you can do the same thing, Julie. Tell the person on the other side to say, you need to, if you want me to deliver these messages, I would love to. Be clear, keep me clear, keep my ego out of it, and I will deliver the message. But you've got to get in their head, because they can, to get them to be open to receiving this information. Now, you can also, Julie, ask the loved one for the guardian, family guardian angel to say, can you help, if it's for the highest good, help bring them to being open to hearing these messages. And then you have to wait until it's like the right time. You would be surprised. Sometimes, every time that I told the person on the other side, listen, you've got to get in touch with your live person, your family connection here on earth, and you've got to get them to call me. I'm not calling them. That's not how I work at all. No, thank you. Within days, they would call and say, you know what, I've just been compelled to call you. I don't know what it is. I'm like, I know what it is. They're going like, you should really call Constance, or you should really talk to Julie, or you should really listen to Julie. So that's what I would suggest, is ask, or here's this other part, right? Or while you're waiting, ask the dad. Julie wants to get a message from the dad on the other side. Ask the dad for some evidential message that you couldn't possibly know, to then give to your husband, I think it is, the son, as proof. Nothing like evidential mediumship. And then I think that's all I'm scanning the question to see if there's any other bits. And then what I would do, because you're so close, right? This is your husband, this is his dad, and I don't know if you've met the dad or knew the dad in life. Probably, I'm getting yes. Ask that the messages are so clear that your ego is, kind of awash in this, so that there's no ego attachment. And ask to have the information so clear that you don't second guess it, even the parts that because it could be that you're being reminded by the dad of a situation that you're supposed to bring up again. And you're thinking, oh, well, that's not a big deal. But no, maybe it's been on your husband's heart, right? So that's going to be important. So it's about really working with the connection, trusting the connection, being able to discern truth. These are in my early lessons, so check out the videos. Isn't that, I hate to say that, but that's this, I've already, that's what the deal is. So, someone asked, Lily asks, is there a way to physically identify where is your spiritual guide team when your intuition senses aren't there yet? So if your soul senses aren't developed yet, is there any way to physically identify? Using your physical senses. Well, but you're asking where they are. Well, you can ask them, are you near, and see if you get goosebumps. So that will physically show up on your body. Or you might get warm on one side, so that will feel up like, oh my God, this is like a higher vibration type thing. So that'll resonate, right, physically. So is there a way to identify where your spirit guide team is, to learn where they're from? I think I'm confused by the wording, Lily, but I think as best I can is definitely sit in meditation time, right? Because I'm all about that. You have to focus in on them. It'd be like sitting with a dear friend in the physical. You have to sit with your spirit guide team in the spirit, and the way to do that is close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and have dedicated time, a dedicated practice. So set the intention, invite them in. I ask to be surrounded by the guides that help me in life, the angels that's near me, and what you can do is say, I'm going to write a letter to you, and I want you to, while I'm writing the letter and asking you questions, I want you to kind of whisper in my knowing what your answers are. for guidance. And then just be open to their response, and then, check in on your feelings and how's the connection feeling and how's it going. So really it's about sitting in spirit. And I hate to say this, but I am going to put this in one of the books, or I might even do a meditation, right? You're going to know more about this if you watch the crown chakra videos and the upper chakra videos. And, but Lily, I think you jumped in partway through the content. So, but maybe not. Who your spirit guide team is. I'm going to actually address spirit guides, connecting with loved ones that have crossed. So I take that back, Lily. You didn't jump in partway. I'm going to address all that after we get through the picture videos and we go to the Constance in the studio videos. Then I'm going to really get into connecting with your guides, your angels, your loved ones, and, all sorts of non-vocal humans. So, yeah, Lily. God, I felt scattered on that. Maybe because, maybe just because. So, if someone wants to know how you can raise your vibration, the best way I can tell you is to sit in a quiet meditation time. That just means meditation is just meditating, thinking, focusing on one thing. Closing your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and just tuning into the frequency of love, love, love. And just imagine the lights from the heavens pouring in on you and allowing that to pour in and through you and sending it out to the cosmos. This will help shift your vibration. Also, living rightfully. So watch the chakra videos, especially the throat chakra, speaking your truth, trust issues. The more you speak your truth in your life, the higher your vibration will become. And so that's about, just being authentic to yourself, right? And setting the intention to live from the vibration of love, peace, and joy. And I'll have pointers in the chakra book about that. I'm sorry, but I do. I have like affirmations in there and all sorts of fun stuff. So, but those things, I used to walk around town. I think I told you this before, and just imagine myself this beam of light, beaming love and light to everybody. And you start weeping when that happens, people. Like it's a really beautiful way of not only raising your vibration, but raising the vibration of those around you. And you can send it off as a prayer to someone. We all know someone that could use a little higher conscious elevation, right? I'm not saying that I'm all that. I'm just saying it's just with the intention of light. Light does wonders. So it's the energy, light, everything's made up of energy, and light is the frequency, And so give that a whirl. Let's see. So here's one. Natalie asks, do you ever experience times when spirit won't speak to you no matter how much you ask? I'm going through a period of this and I'm feeling lost. So if you're saying speak to you, then I'm going to say clairaudience, because but I know you're probably, so if it's just clairaudience, then I would say try other forms of connection, clairsensation, clairsentiment, ClairOlfaction, claircognizance, all of these other things. But I have a feeling you're saying converse at all, right? So what I would look into are any blocks that you haven't uncovered. And when I say blocks, but I just went in on you, Natalie. I know what's going on, but I'm going to finish this thing. By any blocks is any fear, disbelief, or over-eagerness and old programming as to whether or not you're capable of this, or it's real, or it's happening. Sometimes when we go through these exponential leaps in our experience with spirit and in our lives and the way they influence our lives, we freak out sometimes and take a step back because it's just too much. Like lately, I've been like in this whole other cosmos, writing, right? And it's just so fast. Sometimes the papers are going fast and I'm writing so fast that it's clearly channeling, and I'm just like, oh my God, what just happened? I go home in the evening with my husband and I'm like, my business manager, Tara, and I moved mountains today, and it's another day. Like, how many days in a row can that happen? Lots lately. And so it may be when you're saying, do you ever experience times when spirit won't speak to you no matter how much you ask? I'm going through a period of this. I'm feeling lost. So when you're saying this is a new thing, right? This is kind of feeling like, is it a dark night of the soul or what? Is I always say, try other ways of communication, try other forms, because I think I know I told you before, I don't know if you heard me when I mentioned it, Natalie, that sometimes when we're doing our work, sometimes spirit's like, it's for your highest good. I work with specific guides. And so one was like, listen, we're going to cut you off from astral. I was like, what? No more talking to people that have crossed and guides. And they're like, no, we want you to work with the vibration of angels and high level guides, because the way they communicate is differently. So you're going to have to work on your other 11 soul senses, not your favorite ones. So you might be going through this, Natalie, go through the, just even, the 11 soul senses that I teach, not necessarily all the videos unless you haven't seen them, but I would. And then see if there's another one that you're supposed to work with to enhance your skills to make that connection. And then ask them what's going on. Ask your guides what's going on that you're not having this connection. And it could be that you've got to clean some things up in the throat chakra. You have trust issues, or you're being disobedient. And by disobedient, I mean, listen, a lot of times spirit's like, why are you asking? Because you ask, we tell you, and then you don't do it. You're like, like parenting. Like, why are you asking my opinion if you're not going to do it? And so sometimes that happens. So they're like, come on, man, help us out. And they do it in a loving way, right? They won't be like, no, we're never talking to you again. But sometimes they're like, you're not hearing us because you're not hearing us. Yeah. And so, we keep saying, oh, I want that new house. I want that new house. And they're trying to give you input as to how you can get that new house. And then you're not following the steps. Get my manifesting guide when it comes in on the PDF in March, next month, in the newsletter. You're going to love that. It's about working with them, working with spirit also. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for saying you're great. So are you. So are you. So, so don't forget to submit your questions through my newsletter. So if you sign up for my newsletter at constancemessmer.com, you'll get the newsletter, or if you're already getting it, just hit reply and give me your question there. Don't forget, that's the best way. Best way. So I'm going to make a 3-minute video or so on when you don't get an answer. Here's some things that you can troubleshoot. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to promise you that. I don't know how soon, but I will. I promise. Hallucinogenics. How do you feel about them as a vehicle for spirit communication or enlightenment? No, you don't need them. Why would you use them? You don't need them. I mean, you can, I guess, if that's for your highest good, but I would be like, is it for my highest good? But do you need them? No, you don't need them. You're natural, your body and soul. You were born to do this. You just have to remember that and develop that and see the links in your life where you're already doing it, right? So yeah, no, I think it's, no. I think that's, no, that's my opinion. What is this? I'm having a hard time getting this question. Okay, this one came in from Jenny. It says, is there any way you can help me? Oh, I want to get a hold of my daughter that passed. I need your help. Oh, my darling. Ow. I'm not doing mediumship anymore, but I'm teaching you to do it. I'm teaching you to do telepathic communication with your daughter that passed. And I feel your pain and tears. Totally. And what I would encourage you to do is to definitely develop a practice where you sit quietly, ask the angels to surround you and support your journey of connecting, and ask to be only connected to your daughter, and ask that the family angel surrounds you both to support the communication efforts, and feel into it. Picture her in your mind's eye. Imagine her standing or sitting with you, and be open to what happens, because sometimes if it's something like a tragic passing, they're not in pain anymore, or But be open to what happens, because sometimes they need to ask our forgiveness, or they're emotional, or, they're just being loving. So just be open to the whole experience that unfolds as you bring them to your imagination. Remember, the imaginal realm is a muscle, is a space for information to come through, psychic soul level information. It's the place that they use. It's the playground of the soul. So, Jenny, good luck with that. You can also join me in this, that you find the right medium to help you with that. But I need to put my time into teaching people. So my heart and love go out to you. This is Connie from Denmark. I just love your style and your channel on YouTube. Thank you. You have touched me deeply. Love you too. I have heard about the high heart. Is this something you will tell us more about? Looking forward to seeing your answers. Love, Connie. High heart. Okay. High heart. No, I haven't heard about that. But I'm going to guess, right? Is it the thymus? Is it here? It's probably here, right? Can you see? It's here probably, right? So this is the thymus. And if you're saying that's the high heart, I know I teach... in my Reiki classes, I would teach that the sacral chakra is also the woman's second heart, because we can carry children there, whether we choose to or not. But I imagine that the thymus is considered the high heart. And often when you see me saying, put your hands on your heart to check for truth, it's my thymus that I'm hitting, because thymus is self-love. You can always do these thymus thumps if you're feeling depressed or down or glum, right? Thymus thumps, it wakes up the thymus, and that chakra that's there, that's not a main chakra that I teach, but I do talk about. So if you're referring, Connie, if you're referring to this place, then I don't necessarily teach that as a place of discernment, but I could see why people would. Do you know why? Because this is going to be, okay, put your big, I hope I can say these words on all these media platforms. I have boobs, so I'm not going to put my hands here, because that's uncomfortable on my heart. So I go above my chest, right, to put my hands here when I check for truth at my heart chakra. And I wonder, boys, do you do that too? Are there boys on when they check for their heart's truth? Do they go way up to the thymus, or are they over the mid-chest where the heart really is, to the side? The heart's off to the side, but the heart chakra covers the expanse in the middle there at the same line of the heart. So, yeah. When I do healing work on people, I often do one hand on the heart and one hand across the thymus, especially if they've been struggling with self-love and ability to love and give love and receive love. So that's my input. That's my input on that. So listen, you can go either way. You could squish your chest, or you could go above it. Your intention, it's intention. So intention to put my hands on my heart and sense truth for the sense of truth. Yeah, yeah. And a big shout out to, thank you, Kathy, my sister, who's working on a lot of these support for you and the questions that you come in. Big shout out to Kathy. Totally. Thanks. Oh my God, she's my big sister, but we probably never would have thought we were going to do this ever. I think she's worked with almost every member of the family, maybe except my sister Carol. Okay, so this is Priscilla from Brazil, originally, but I've been following your teaching and would love to ask you a question. For all of us who are having a hard time letting go of control, struggling with the fear of getting it wrong, and really want to be more of an open channel, what do you recommend as an exercise to let go of the ego and the projections and simply allow and trust what is coming through? Thank you so much for all the love and knowledge you spread. Ooh, bless you, Priscilla. Right back at you. Okay, so what I would do is set solid intentions, right? Solid intentions. I ask to be connected to the highest truth. I ask that any and all information come through me that is of the highest good and only of truth. Keep me clear, keep my ego out of it. Set that as a solid intention. You see how hot I'm getting? My cheeks are hot. Then I would want to really work with clear sensation. Remember that feeling the truth, because you're going to feel your way along with the words that you hear or you're sensing or the visions you're seeing. You're going to feel the vibration of truth in your heart chakra. And so that'll be you got to get really savvy with clear sensation. And then always when you're going to work to be a medium or a channel or a reader or something like that, even in, tarot, divination tools, divination, whatever, is you're going to set the intention that the information is of the highest good and for the highest good and only pure goodness that comes through. Doesn't mean you're not going to get tricky information, that things that they got to work on, things they're uncomfortable with, but at least you'll be delivering it in the vibration of truth and you'll know it. And you got to discern the difference between crappy information and solid information, because usually if they give they're going through they kind of are, okay, let's say this, sometimes you might get they have issues with, or they're a liar. You might get that blatantly, and so you're like, okay, I can't say that. You're having the conversation in your head, can't say that, please tell me a better way to say this. I ask that of spirit all the time, because sometimes they drop like these short little, here's the truth, and I'm like, no, I can't say it like that. So I say, how do you want me to say it? And then how can I say it with love? And then some of you that do reads might not have it that way, but that's how I've had it. And so then they'll give you better ways to say it. So listen, I'm understanding that you have a trouble with expressing the truth, and usually then what spirit will say, if it's a tricky thing that you're delivering, is then, troubleshoot ways with spirit, that spirit's telling me that if you have this trouble with truth, then, it's time to look at those old wounds. Truth is in the throat chakra, trust issues is in the throat chakra, but, and then you can use your skills and tools to figure out where those issues are. I'm getting down a rabbit hole with this. I am definitely going to put how to do reads in a Messmer on reads, on soul readings book for you. I'm just going to. So what do you recommend as an exercise to let go of the ego and the projections and simply allow and trust what's coming through? You've got to develop your own practice first. You really always, always, always have to do this for getting messages and signs. You have to, by that, what I mean is, you've got to be willing to let go of your own ego and your projections in your life, in your day-to-day life. You have to constantly be working looking at your shadow side, looking at your stuff that you need to work on. Because it's a spiritual process for you if you want to be a clear and vessel for delivering information. Otherwise, you'll be working through your filters, which is not good. And then, so you say you have a hard time, Priscilla, letting go of control and struggling with the fear of getting it wrong. Well, then you just say, keep me clear, keep my ego out of it. And, you're going to feel the thread of truth in the information. And so help me get this right. Help me get this right, because we're messengers, right? We're messengers. So we're messengers. Unless you're reading bodies and you're reading information on body, then just say, you can double check it. Is this true? Is this what I'm getting? Is this, all the stuff that's in previous videos that I taught. And then, and simply allow and trust what's coming through. It's going to take effort on your part and practice and noticing when the thread of truth is broken or when the information sounds a little off, it doesn't feel right. And so then you're going to know. This is true for your life, right? This is when you're going about your day and you're like, I think I want that job. And then you're like, how does it make me feel? Oh, that doesn't feel good, or that relationship doesn't feel good, or why am I not hanging with that person? Oh, right, because it just doesn't feel right anymore, and I need to move on, or I need to change, or this isn't right for me. All of these skills you're supposed to use in your daily life, which is great. So, oh my gosh, that's a long-winded answer. Priscilla, you can also then practice with a friend and say, I'm sure there's also groups, right? People attending groups to practice on each other to say, was that, here's this information. Does that make sense to you? But the more you do it, the more you'll work and refine to know the discernment of truth and the discernment of when you're I was reading my sister's message to you all. When you're making it up, don't make things up. Don't make things up. You don't need to. Be okay with going slow in reads. Sometimes the information is slow because that person needs to hear it slow, or they're processing it slow. And I used to always record my readings. I wouldn't have them take notes. I wouldn't have them sit there. I would talk so fast, there's no way they could remember it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to record it to you for you, and I'm going to send you the tape, so then you'll listen. And I had people calling and going, oh my God, you sent me this recording and you did the read like a year ago, and that stuff all came true. And I'm like, yay, you did it. We did it. We're such a team. Practice makes perfect. Ask Tony in Some Dogs Talk. That's what he says to his brother. So Mel from Australia, how do I make a pact with God? Well, that's easy. You can get angelic help and ask what I'm discerning to make a pact with God or an agreement with the cosmos. I think you're talking about when I said I consecrated my life to this work and to God and said, I will be your vessel. I will do this. And use me, speak through me, do whatever, help me know. This is how you make a pact. Priscilla, right? No, Mel, sorry, Mel. This is how you make a pact. Ooh, I wonder if Priscilla needs to hear this too. Is you, first of all, discern if it's for your highest good. Is this for my highest good to take on in this incarnation? And give me the words. Give me the words to say. What words should I say? And then allow the words to come to you. I would always ask my angels, how do you want me to pray? How do you want me to, how should I ask for this? How should I do this? And so trust the awareness that comes through you. And then you can write it out and see how that feels or what needs to tweak. You're going to know in your heart, like the right verbiage to use. And so first of all, you want to discern if it's for your highest good to have the pact. What kind of pact is it? Is it for your highest good and the good of all the earth and all beings? Then that's a really yummy one. That's what you're aiming for, right? And then also two, give me the words to know and say, and then go ahead and put it together. And then you just offer it up, like I'm offering this up. Another cool way is to sit in spirit in meditation with that. And then, put my books on Audible. I will definitely, someone remind me what Angel said, put the books on Audible. Hear that, any agents that want to represent my books? So that, I should probably read Some Dogs Talk on Audible or something. So those are the ways that I would suggest. And then sit with God in prayer time, spirit meditation time, and just say, I'm offering this up for you. I'm offering this up for you. I hope that helps, Mel from Australia. So here's another question. What time? We have just a few minutes more. Heart-centered ritual off that. Hi there, I'm sending you a question. I would like your perspective on it. What is your opinion on doing Reiki on people who are on the deathbed? I love that. Oh, I'm getting chills and goosebumps. I love that. Of course. You know the answer. Minnie from Slovenia, you know this answer already, Minnie. You're so adorable. I adore you. Would you say that Reiki can help them to transit to the other side more? Yes. It will, oh my God, that light and love. You're going to make me cry, Minnie. Yeah, totally. It's like singing to them to the other side, sending them off on angels' wings. Yeah, totally do Reiki while they're in the passing stages. If I was a hospice worker or a family member with someone passing, I would hold them. And actually, I was on the vineyard when my dad passed, and I was constantly holding him in light. And my family called me so I could talk to him in his ear. But I was already talking to him in spirit. But I loved saying it out loud because then he heard the vibration, through the phone waves. But yeah, many definitely. That will help them transition. It will help kind of as a blessing. It's kind of like a blessing, right? To release them and help them along. I love that. So I am going to answer a few more. I'm going to stretch our time. Okay. This is off the brow chakra video. What does it mean when you have itchiness in the brow chakra? That's from Terry. Terry, I'd ask you to put your hands on your brow chakra and say, why do I have itchiness? And direct that question to your soul or up to the heavens. What's this itchiness about? I want you to discern that for you. Sam, on shielding your empathic child. Constance, thanks for this. Can you go a bit deeper and more detailed on how you do or did it? I do it all in my imagination with intention. I imagined. Remember Bella from the vampire series? She pushed it out in her mind's eye. So you imagine this shield of light coming off you and wrapping around your child. So what's really fun did I show those? Oh, the aura videos. Watch those, because in those, I think I talk about expanding and shrinking your auric field and practicing with that. And there's games you can play. I'm working on a game book with my friend San in England. So this is funny. This is from Sam, but I'm working on a game book with my friend San in England, and it will have that as an exercise, how you can work to expand your aura. And so when you get really savvy at that, that's literally what you do. And it's just with intention. You imagine pushing it out and pushing it out. But you then start to feel it. You start to feel it, and you become an energy master. You become working with energy really smoothly. So I think this should be the last one. I'm going to, like, look at this. I'm like, so... okay. Let me just, maybe I should save this for next time. I think I should save this, should I save this for next time? No, one more. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. This is from JN and Laura, two people who kind of had the same question. Tell me, I am very open. I have been since I was a child, but these last 6 months, when I connect to spirit, I receive the wrong answers. And I can feel it too. I ask again and receive another answer. Is there any way to eliminate this? It's most uncomfortable, and I'm losing my trust, which they have said to me, faith. Please help. I apologize if the message is written wrong. I'm texting with no glasses, Constance. Sorry. Well, JN, I wouldn't go to them anymore. Whoever that guide is, and you're getting the wrong answers. A few things. One is I would ask, is it for my, first of all, I'd check your connection. Like, how do they feel? Does the connection feel yummy and good? You can go to a different guide. You can get a different guide. You can ask for your angel, higher frequency. You know, I want to be connected to my angel that's guardian for me my whole life, and get clarity on some answers. And then ask, is it for my highest good to know the answer? And you can even ask your angel, why are they giving me the wrong answers? And I'm hearing, because it's the wrong guide to be working with. So even though they say faith, no. Yeah. So what I would do, because you're asking my opinion, is to ask to be connected, or you can ask for a higher level guide. I ask to be connected to the highest being that is aligned with my truth, that can come forward and connect with me in these areas of my life. I'm asking for the biggest and the brightest to come forward. And then ask your guardian angel to hold that connection between you and the guide, so that the communication is clear and pure and good and of truth, right? And anytime you get a new guide, you're going to ask, are you of God? Are you of truth? Are you of light? And this will help you get to know, work with one main guide for a long time, JN and Laura, and then get to know them on a vibrational level, stuff like this. I'm going to also put that in a future book, but that book's going to be a while coming out, but I'll still put it in. So you're going to establish rapport, right? You're going to establish rapport with the guide, and you don't have to stick with the same guide if it's not working for you. Didn't I tell you? Did I tell you? My first guide that showed up, she didn't talk. She was a beautiful woman with all this white flowing garb, like you'd think, like, oh. And so she didn't talk, though. I was like, I can't hear you. So she was all claircognizance. And I was like, I'm not ready for that. I need someone that I can hear and I can converse with, because I'm a talker. Can you tell? Oh my God, look at this here. So, so you get a different guide. That's all, right? Yeah. And then also too, if you're hearing them, and okay, the spirits say I'm getting ahead of myself. I guess that's for next time. I think there's so many more I want to get to. It's going to have to wait till next time. I might do a double, like do a random live. Wouldn't that be fun? Unexpected, dropping in your door, giving them some reads to catch up. So anyway, what am I missing? I totally, I love that question, T. This live will be available to watch later on my channels, because I couldn't remember all this. And we'll probably chop them all up and put them as individual shorts and reels, because that's nice too. And then if you want to find my books, thanks, Chris, please go to constancemessmer.com and check out the shop there. You can also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the shop and they're in there under books and journals and stuff like that. That would be great because of the fact that I'm going to be putting out books in the future so that you can have them and mess them up and highlight them and scribble on them and put your own notes in them. I need to get my numbers up to make it look like I have, that I know what I'm talking about. So the more you like and share and sign up for these different platforms, and the newsletter is just going to help me tremendously, and I totally appreciate you. I do this work for you because I think that the more we all do this and the more we tune into our soul senses, the world will be a much better place. I know this. I know this. I know this. So you are welcome. You are welcome. M. Victoria, 21 handles, Angel, all of you. I love it. I love it. Thanks, Angel. She's read some Doctor's Talk. She says it's amazing. Thank you. Love you, lovely lady. Love you too, Angela. So you're welcome. Nico, thank you for your time. I want to thank you all for your time. Thanks for that reminder. Thanks for your time. Because time is valuable, right? Thank you for tuning in to the lessons and applying them to your life. Thank you for your questions, because then it makes me know what you're after and what more you want. And I've got so much content to share, so I'm really excited that you're joining me on this journey. And I'm putting out the prayer to the cosmos that it comes easily and smooth for you with grace and love, and that your life and your frequency and your everything you want comes at a ease and grace moment. So don't forget, sign up for the newsletter, because in March I've already wrote the documents on manifesting, and then it's hilarious because I'm going to go to another woman's talk on manifesting, and I'm like, wow, oops, I wonder if she's going to say what I know, but we'll see. So I want to just teach you everything I know. Thank you so much for tuning in. I adore you, and I'll see you next time. Bless you, everyone. Have a great weekend. I agree with you. All right. I don't even know how to turn them off. All right. Click. And now. Bum, ba, da, bum. Finish by Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. Blessed be you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, Silver, for sharing. Okay. Hearts and prayers and love. All right. Let me, look at me. I think I just do that. Yes.